Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, June 10th, 2022. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. All right, so that server swap went a little bit better than expected and quicker than expected. Now I'm just poking around, making sure things are working as they should. And if you're on eyeonannapolis.net, you should see a much faster responding site. And a bit later this year, I think we're looking at a complete redesign. So stay tuned. Fancy things are happening. But hey, take a look at the calendar. It is Friday, so let's bring on the weekend and today's news, shall we? As the owners were able to get into Sailor Oyster Bar to check out the damage, it does seem that the restaurant is going to be closed for several months. There are at least 3 GoFundMe pages set up to help them in their recovery. And in the aftermath of any incident, I tend to be skeptical. That's just me. While I'm sure they are all very well intentioned, without hearing specific needs and uses of any funds directly from the owners, personally, I'm going to hold off on any contributions. County Executive Pittman just submitted a supplemental budget for $4.2 million. $2 million of that will work on pay equity at Anne Arundel Community College, and $2.2 million is for hiring and retention bonuses for school bus drivers. Pittman said that the funds will, quote, give our school system the edge it needs to recruit for these critical positions, unquote. Now, keep in mind, last fall he gave the schools $4.2 million for the same thing, but it didn't work then. I just checked, and this morning there are 28 routes that will not have any service. And all of this is with like 8,000 seniors who are already out of school. So what is that definition of insanity again? Hey, it looks like we have a new superintendent of schools. Dr. Mark Bedell was the final choice by the Board of Education. He's going to start on July 1st, at least on paper. There will be an interim superintendent named for the first month as he does relocate his family from Kansas City. Currently, he is the superintendent of the Kansas City Public Schools, and previously he worked in Houston and was an assistant superintendent in Baltimore County schools prior to that, and he actually lived in Anne Arundel County for a period. The board will take a formal vote later on this afternoon on the hiring and the contract, which has not been made public just yet, but welcome aboard, Dr. Bedell. The Annapolis City Council has a meeting tonight, and one thing on their agenda that stood out for me, it is Resolution 39-22. And this is really stupid and has some pretty bad optics as far as I'm concerned. But it is the use and deputization of the mayor's personal vessel for governmental use, for the purpose of officially demonstrating that water transportation is a viable option in Annapolis that will reduce road congestion and greenhouse gas emissions, for further demonstrating that governmental services, as applicable, can be improved through the deputization of the mayor's personal vessel and related matters. This is really dumb on a number of points. First of all, the taxpayers will now be on the hook for fuel, insurance, repairs, and perhaps liability if there's ever an incident or an accident. Questions arise, will his wife or kids have access to the vessel? And what about the other council members that have boats or utilize other means to transport themselves around? This is just a really bad idea. If the city feels that the mayor needs to have a boat at his disposal, then buy him a boat and let it be a city-owned vehicle. None of this deputizing the mayor's personal property. Yesterday, Governor Hogan delivered a COVID update. It was focused on living with COVID and said that the state is in good shape for the test-to-treat infrastructure. And this is basically when you test positive with symptoms or are otherwise vulnerable, you will be able to get the oral medication immediately at that same location. The health department also launched a portal where people can check out to see whether they're up to date on their vaccines. And if not, it's going to prompt you exactly where to go and how to get one. All these are free. Finally, the state is prepared to vaccinate kids under 5 in the coming weeks. The state has pre-ordered nearly 65,000 doses, and approval from the FDA is expected in the next week or two. As we wrap it up, a busy weekend. The weather looks reasonably good. tonight. It is the 20th iteration of Art Between the Creeks that debuts tonight. It's the brainchild of Cindy Fletcher Holden, who is the co-creator of the mural on the Arundel Center. And this is a week-long show that kicks off tonight at 6 p.m. with a free reception at Backyard Boats, which is at 222 Severn Avenue in Eastport. It highlights the wonderful artists that are literally between the creeks, Spa and Back Creek. Other hours are Saturdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. through the 19th of June. Definitely want to go check that out. Tomorrow at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium from 2 to 6 p.m., it is Pints for Paws, Home Brewing and Craft Beer Festival. Lots of fun and music and games, and as the name suggests, paws are welcome, so please feel free to bring your leashed and well-behaved pups. Tomorrow evening, you have some musical variety to you. The Londontowne Symphony Orchestra and the Eastport Oyster Boys are teaming up for a Maryland Hall concert at 7:30 p.m. And this is a fundraiser for Annapolis Green, so it's going to be a great time with great music for a great cause. And also tomorrow night, finally, Bands in the Sand is here at the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. It is sold out, but it should be a fabulous night on the sand with G Love and Special Sauce. And on Sunday, we rest. And that's it for the news, but here's some podcast news for you. Up tomorrow on the Local Business Spotlight, Bo's Effort, and following that, Rehab to Perform, which has just expanded once again up in Gambrels. And finally, as always, thank you for listening. And if you are somewhere where you can leave us a rating or a review, please do. And make sure you let your friends, family, and colleagues all know to give us a follow. It really does help. A quick thank you to our sponsors for today's Daily News Brief: Solar Energy Services, Alpha Engineering, and the Kristi Neidhardt Team of Northrop Realty, a Long End Foster Company. It's Friday with a busy weekend ahead of us, so I'm going to take this time just to say have a great weekend, be nice to others, do something fun, keep shopping local, and other than that, we're going to see you on Monday. Now hang tight. George Young from DC Mdva Weather is here with your locally forecast weather report. All that in just a bit.
The benefits of a good night's sleep are well documented. Sleeping well prevents weight gain, improves concentration and creativity, and boosts the immune system. So, what keeps you up at night? If you run a business, then the security of your computer network may be one of those things. Threats like ransomware and phishing are becoming increasingly sophisticated and pose a real risk to any business. Don't let these cyber threats keep you up at night. At Alpha, they've been helping their customers sleep better for over 30 years by monitoring in real time and hardening network defenses. And for those irritating IT issues that arise every day, Alpha's just a phone call away, helping your business run smoothly and helping you sleep better, knowing Alpha is on guard. Give Alpha a call to see if they can ease your worries and help you get the rest you deserve. Find them at alphagetsit.com.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DC Mdva Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DC Mdva Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DC Mdva Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Friday, June 10th. Skies cleared nicely yesterday after some pretty good rainfall across the Annapolis region, and it'll be nothing but sunshine today before more rain returns tomorrow. Look for max sunshine and highs in the low to mid-80s today, with the expectation for tomorrow being one of clouds and potentially heavy rain for much of the day, though we could get slightly lucky with some mid to late PM clearing, with highs Saturday in the 75 to 82 degree range, ahead of sunshine and temps around 80 on Sunday, with nice and seasonably warm weather expected to stick around through at least the first half of next week, with sunshine in low to mid-80s on tap Monday through Wednesday. Okay, that's it for today and this week. This is George Young of DC Mdva Weather. Make it a great day and weekend out there. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for regular updates each day, along with our website at dcmdvaweather.info. And definitely be sure to download our DC Mdva Weather app on all of your devices from either the Apple or Google app stores, so you can always stay weather informed.
Another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt of the Kristi Neidhardt Team from Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster Company.
One of the most common questions we get: how do I maximize the value of my home before I sell it? It's a great question. We look at improvements like investments. What is the rate of return? For example, if we invest $5,000 in painting kitchen cabinets and installing granite, how much more will our home sell for? The answer? About $25,000 more. That's a 500% return on investment. Because of returns like this, we have started a program called Investing in You. We know cash is often tight when you're making a move, and we are here to help. We will front you up to $15,000 to invest in refreshing your home before you list it, with the agreement to be paid back once your home settles. Call us today so we can help you maximize your home's value.
That's another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt. To get in touch, call 410-599-1370 or visit kn-team.com. That's kn-team.com.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Is all this talk of inflation making you uneasy? Me too, especially the uncertainty. How bad will it eat into my future purchasing power? Well, don't feel helpless, because solar energy can give you some financial control. By installing and owning your solar system, you can lock out electricity cost inflation by locking in your electricity price for more than 25 years. Many of our inflation-fighting clean energy systems offset 100% of the annual electricity demands. Customers frequently add electric vehicle charging and backup batteries to their solar projects, providing them inexpensive auto fuel and additional energy security for the home. Let's make 2022 the year that you freeze energy inflation in its tracks by committing to affordable, clean solar energy. Call us today at 410-923-6090 or visit us at solarsaves.net. But don't wait another minute. Sunshine's a wasted.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.